Today, we're going to take one single, simple word, a word you probably use all the time, and see how it unlocks this huge, surprising idea about language and communication. It's a pretty wild ride. Okay, let's dive right in.
So let me just ask you this. What could possibly be special about the word trouble? I mean, it seems so ordinary, right? But you're going to want to stick with me on this one, because this everyday word is hiding a really remarkable secret.
All right, so first things first, let's just look at the word itself. We're going to peel back the layers on this very, very common piece of our vocabulary.
And no, it is not your imagination. We really do say trouble a lot. It just pops up constantly, doesn't it? In conversations, in books, in movies. It is absolutely everywhere.
In fact, if you look at the data, trouble is one of the top 1,000 most common headwords in the English language. That puts it in this really exclusive club of words we lean on every single day. But, just being common, that's only part of the story.
Right, because trouble isn't just common, it's also a bit of a multitasker. It kind of pulls double duty in our senses, doing two totally different jobs at once.
As a noun, it means problems, like I'm in a bit of trouble. But as a verb, it means to bother someone. Hey, sorry to trouble you. So yeah, it's flexible, it's efficient, but that is still not its biggest secret. Not even close. So, we know it's common, and we know it's versatile. But there is one more fact, something just hiding there in plain sight, that completely changes how you'll look at this word forever. And here it is. Trouble is on the Basic English 850 list. So what on earth is that? I mean, what does that even mean? Well, this one little fact is the key that unlocks this entire story. And this brings us to the 850-word club. It's a concept called Basic English that you might have never even heard of. And this is where our simple little word becomes part of a much, much bigger idea. 850. Just 850. That's it. That is the total number of words in this entire system. Think about that for a second. Out of the hundreds of thousands of words in the English language, only these 850 were chosen as absolutely essential.
So what is Basic English? Well, it's a simplified language that was created way back in the 1930s by a linguist named C.K. Ogden. And his whole goal was to create a tool for clear, super straightforward international communication, using a tiny, carefully selected vocabulary that anyone could learn and learn fast. The whole idea was that with just this small toolkit of words, you could still express almost anything you needed to. And this is why our word, trouble, matters so much. The creators of Basic English decided that the actual concept of trouble was so fundamental to just being human that it had to be included. I mean, think about it. Without a word for trouble, how do you describe a problem? How do you ask for help or even tell a compelling story? It's a completely universal concept. And all of this leads us to the big takeaway here. It's all about the power of simplicity. We started with just a simple, common word, and it unlocked this huge idea about global communication. It just goes to show you that even the most basic concepts, the ones we totally take for granted, are actually the essential building blocks for connecting with one another. Which leaves me with a final thought for you. If you had to create your own list of just 850 essential words to describe the entire world, which one would you argue is the most important? What's the one concept you absolutely couldn't live without?